What's up, savages? This is Vishu from SavageCamp, and today we are going to learn about archiving tools in Linux. So, if you're using Windows, you must know about softwares like WinZip or WinRAR or 7-zip. So, these are the archiving tools that we use in Windows to compress files and folders. But in Linux, there are various tools like tarballs or tar and gunzip and bzip2 and star, but we are not going to look at star in this video. We are just going to go through the basics of tar, gunzip, bzip2, and we will see what kinds of compression they provide and when we should use which one. So let me clear up the screen right now and do an ls -lh. So -l would give a detailed display of all the files, and -h would give the human format so we can understand what the file is. If I do an ls -l, you will see it's in like bytes, and this one will give us in a human readable format. So let me show you one file that I have right now, which is test.py, and it will open two files, a.text, b.text, in write mode. In the first file, it will create random integers, multiply it by 5, and then add this line. So let me change this line so there's no confusion. So in a.write, we are going to write random integers and then add a text. This is file 1. And in b.text, we are going to just write this is file b. That's it. And we are going to do both of this 100,000 times. So let me clear the screen and let me touch a.text and b.text and ls -lh. So I have the files over here, so I'm going to time python test.py, and it took like 7 seconds. That's fine. And if I do an ls -lh, you will see a.text has random characters, and let me rename it to a.text as random.text and b.text as same, so there's no confusion. So we know now. So if I do an ls less on random, you will see a bunch of random numbers with this is file A, and if I do the same thing on same, you will see this is file B written over and over again. So the first compressing tool we are going to see is tar. So with tar, we need to remember these commands C, V, and F. So what this says is create, C for create, V for verbose, F for file. Now if I want this, I have 3 directories over here, which is tarballs, where we are going to put the output of tar, and zip files. Let me remove gzip files because we don't need those. And we have zip files where we are going to put the output of our gunzip and bzip. So the first one is tar -cvf, and I'm going to put this inside tarballs, and I'm going to name random.tar. Run this on random.txt. So it's tar -create verbose file inside the tarballs random.tar, and use the file random.text. So this created a file. Let me do ls -lh on tarballs. Before this, let me also do this on same and do an ls -lh on tarballs, and you will see random.tar is 19. If I do an ls -lh over here, this was 19 megabytes, and this is still 19 megabytes. This one is 15 megabytes. This is still 15 megabytes. So tar will just compress it, which means that it won't actually reduce the size. It would just create a tar ball that you can use to send it somewhere. So it's not a good compression techniques, but we'll check out gzip. Gzip working is really easy. So what you just do is gzip and you specify the name of the file. Now if I do this, and if I do gzip of random, if I do an ls -lh, you will see two things. The first one, that random.text has gone to 2.1 megabytes from 19 megabytes, and it's 2.1 megabytes because it has random text. But if you see same.text.gz is 29 kilobytes from 15 megabytes. So gzip is clearly a good compression technique. The problem here is we lost these two files. These two files have been changed to .text.gz. So if you want to decompress it, all you have to do is -d and then specify the name and do the same thing for random, and you will see them back over here with the gz files gone. So what I need to do is, the reason I have a new folder called zip files is because we are going to put gzip files into this and bzip2 files into this and compare their sizes. So I'm going to use -c command, which basically tells where to specify it. I'm going to first do same.txt and I'm going to put this inside zip files and I'm going to name this same.gz, and I'm going to do the same thing on random, use the same name over here, and if I do an ls-lh on zip files, you will see this is 2.1 megabytes and this is 29 kilobytes. So it's the same compression in a different folder, and we still have our two files because we told use this output and put it inside zip files random.gz and same.gz. Now the reason I did that it is because I still want these files, because we are going to use this tool called bzip2. So bzip2, if you don't have it, you have to install it using yum install -y bzip2, and for me it will show that it is already installed. So what I'm going to do is use the same command, same.txt, and I'm going to put it into compress files, or let me do it over here itself, and I'm going to do the same thing on random.txt, and I'm going to do an ls and move random.txt into zip files and do the same thing for same into zip files. Now let us clear the screen. ls-lh, we don't have those files anymore, so I'm going to do ls-lh on zip files, and over here you will see .bz2 stands for bzip. So random.gzip, which is gunzip, is 2.1 megabytes, but bzip can compress it to 1.3 megabytes. So clearly bzip has better compression. Now same.gz is 29k, which is the same lines over and over again, but this one, same.text.bz2, is actually 1.3 kilobytes. So you can clearly see bzip2 has a better compression than gunzip, and that is what you need to remember. If you have the same data, your bzip2 file is going to be very tiny, but what it basically does is something like this is line B. So let me decompress this. So zip files and same.text.bz and bzip2 -d for decompress, and zip files same.text.bz2 and random.text.bz2, and if I do an ls-lh, so let me do cat on zip files random.text. So instead of random, let me show you the same one. So same.text less, so this is file B, so this is being repeated over and over again. Now this is a very complex algorithm that compresses it, but it basically what it is saying is this is line B into 100,000, which is how many times I wrote it. So this one is actually telling the bzip algorithm that this is line B is repeated 100,000 times, and when you decompress it, it writes it again 100,000 times. So that is like the very basic differences between these archiving tools. If you don't want to use gunzip by itself, what you can try is, if I do, let me go into zip files. So what you can do is ls-lh and remove random.gz and same.gz, and over here if you want, you can also use tar -zcvf and then put same.text, and I have to put the name to same.tar.gz, and then I have to put the same thing for random. So random.gz, random.text. What this did is it basically compressed it in gunzip format using the tar command. So -z is what you will use if you want to use gunzip along with tar. So it actually compressed it quite a lot. So if you want to use the gunzip, you can use tar minus zcvf, or you can just use gzip and it would work too. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, just let me know, because this was also very confusing for me. But once you understand, once you try this out, you will know it's not that difficult. And if you have any comments, or if you have any doubts, or if you want to go through something, just like put it in the comments and I will reach out to you.